Hey, Noob, I heard you had a better title for Daredevil than what they gave us.
It's called Daredevil Bored Again because it sucks.
I feel like when we describe how much this sucks, people won't actually believe us. Is that
I don't
possible?
understand. Like Daredevil on IGN, every fucking episode, 8, 9, 10, 8, 9. I'm like, why? What exactly about the? Is it because they talk about their feelings so much?
Oh
There's
my
just
God.
so much therapy that it deserves a 10 for being so inclusive and diverse and I don't know. It's just it's fucking terrible. He's barely in it. He's barely addresses Daredevil, and
He
it's 9
doesn't dress
episodes.
as Daredevil until episode 6, I think.
Well, the first episode with the fight, and then it's like no Daredevil, it's Cry Devil, and then he's like, you know what? Let's scream a lot when I put on my Daredevil costume now. Every time he fights, he just lets out a constipated rage.
Well, let's go over what we kind of liked and maybe what we didn't like, or should we go over the plot briefly to give
I
everybody...
like that it ended. I do like that it ended.
I like that it ended.
I was a fan that each episode did have an end point. I was very fond of that moment.
When it was over.
Yeah.
I also wonder about, like, this was kind of a Frankenstein of a show where they filmed 6 episodes, I think, and then Kevin Feige watched it and was like, this sucks. And then they chopped up what they had left and redid all of it. I thought it was going to be 18 episodes, but then they chopped it into 2 seasons, which is really strange too. So no one really knows what we got here. It's just kind of like a bunch of like nonsense.
It definitely feels like an incomplete season, like it just ended in the middle.
Yeah, and it's like tonally it had whiplash. Like you have the stupid bank heist, which was like kind of funny-ish, I guess, and then the rest of it's like very serious. And the other thing, I kind of want to break down a bunch of things, but
I don't know
here's
about a
the
bunch.
other.
You can maybe pick one or two.
Oh, shut up. Well, here's it. Like the violence, right? The Netflix show was very violent, and we were expecting them to add violence. But when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, they kind of pulled back a little bit on the violence. And then the very last episode is like full
Very
on
violent.
Like it came out of nowhere, and to the point where it was just ridiculous. Like what this clown stuff we're watching here. Like
I don't remember
this?
Kingpin. Did Kingpin do anything that violent in the Netflix series?
Yeah, remember he put that guy's head in a he smashed his head in with a car door.
Oh yeah. Still.
I just thought that was more effective because it seemed, he's not ripping people's faces apart with his bare hands. That was ridiculous.
In the comic book, he does that, but not in the show. Like
The
he's just a
show is-
normal dude in the show.
Yeah, but that's what's cool. All right, well let's do a brief synopsis just to give people an idea of what happens with the plot, and then we'll break down what we hate and not all the giant plot holes, but definitely quite a few plot holes because there's a lot of plot holes. Essentially, I don't know how many years it's removed from the last one, but it starts with what Matt and Foggy and Karen.
Hot Foggy.
Hot Foggy, who's, whatever. And it starts, and they're hanging out in a bar, and you find out that there's some sort of case Foggy's working on, and all of a sudden you get Bullseye.
Immediately murdered.
Yeah, he gets immediately murdered. Bullseye comes in, and then Karen leaves. So yeah, Daredevil shows up, fights Bullseye. He attempts to kill Bullseye because he knows Foggy's dead, and Bullseye lives, but Foggy dies. Okay, and then it takes place like a year after that, and Karen refuses to speak to him for no reason, no particular reason. She just
because
stops.
he probably started to go to too much therapy, and she's like, "Please stop. With
Please
therapy.
stop with the therapy."
He's like, "You're attacking my feelings."
So now he starts a new law firm where I don't even know what they're doing other than he takes on the case of a vigilante. And I would have thought this whole case would have taken much longer or would have been a much longer arc, but it's like it happens and then it's gone.
Well, also
Tiger,
the main actor is dead, so I don't know that they could have really done more with that.
Well, that's true, but maybe somebody else got the White Tiger, like that little girl. She could have got that white tiger.
That disappeared after that one episode.
I was waiting for that little girl to get that to get that medallion and just start beating up men. I was waiting for it. So anyway,
strong whammons.
So strong. Daredevil's kind of retired and he's just doing cases, and he picks up the case of the white tiger. He gets the white tiger off on a technicality, and I don't know, just because he's cool. They're like, he's a nice guy, and they're like, all right, we like our vigilantes now, even though,
but like, he's the white tiger, not the black tiger. White.
I don't know that they did that, but anyway, he
white
immediately goes out to be the white tiger again and immediately gets assassinated. And the whole time, the Kingpin's like retired, except he's decided to become the mayor. And this is one of the dumbest plot holes in the entire show. So his wife is very mad at him because he disappeared. The Kingpin disappeared because, he was chasing Echo and wasting his time doing that. He comes back. His fifis are hurt, so he hides a little bit longer. I guess he gets some more therapy. And then he decides to become the mayor, and she's mad at him because she's like, we were money laundering millions of dollars, and she can't see the obvious advantage of having him as the mayor of New York City, where he's like, by the end, he's like, we could launder billions of dollars.
Yeah, he literally spells it out for her. He's like, we were doing millions. Now we can do billions. If you weren't clear on it, he made it very clear.
Yeah, because she's too stupid to know that. It takes her 8 episodes to realize. And isn't there like a whole plot line that completely falls apart with like her gang going against his gang and fighting the gangs and all that disappears?
She tried to get him killed, and they just
all
kind of ignore that.
Just they ignore all of that. In the meantime, she cheated on him. So again, they're in more therapy. Matt meets a therapist who's the therapist for Kingpin, and then he's doing therapy. A lot of therapy.
And
then
doing
what happens? Yeah, I guess he's doing her. And then like a bunch of nothing happens there's a like dumb serial killer.
That blood mask guy or whatever.
That was completely dumb. So he dies in like one episode, so that was exciting. And then his girlfriend killed her, who's the therapist. Then what happens? Matt gets shot by Bullseye. Here's another dumb plot hole. Why did so Bullseye's in prison he's a serial killer. He's killed like 11 people. His last thing he did when he killed Foggy, he killed like 11 people, right? Why? Okay. Matt is a lawyer. Matt knows that if you beat up a prisoner, he's going to the infirmary, and if he's going to the infirmary, he's going to have a chance to escape. Did Matt deliberately send him to the infirmary so he could escape?
I have no idea.
Did it? It sure seemed like it was intentional. So why would... and then that guy immediately kills like 5 people. So why did Daredevil allow 5 people to get killed? Because he decided to let Bullseye go.
And yet he stops he's like, no, Punisher, stop killing a bunch of people.
You're responsible for killing like 5 people directly.
Yeah.
So then he gets shot. He meets the Punisher for like all of 30 seconds, which is they just cry at each other. Right?
Yeah.
And the Punisher, this was another giant thing that irritated me. So I didn't realize you could just walk into the Punisher's house. I'm pretty sure in the Netflix series, like he had booby traps and like exploding everything. He walks in.
He doesn't want to be found.
And he's got like hundreds, he's got like 20 or 30 guns on the walls. But Daredevil, not in costume, can just walk in and be like, Frank? Are you there, Frank?
Because isn't he wanted for murder?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Frank, he's not like a free
fugitive.
citizen. Yeah.
No. Yeah, because he got, unconvicted of murdering all those people. Okay. So then Bullseye goes to shoot the mayor, and he takes a bullet for him for no reason. And then Bullseye, then the mayor decides, he has his task force now, which is kind of irrelevant. But he goes and says, go kill Daredevil, right? And then Frank saves him. He gets a phone call from a friend. All of a sudden, Karen magically comes back for no reason after not talking to him for like over a year. She comes back. Hey, Red, let's go, Red. And then Frank is just murdering people left and right. Here's the dumbest part of the entire show. Frank decides he's not going to save New York City for no reason other than that he wants to drink a cup of coffee. Then he hears something on the radio and on the police scanner and decides by himself to not go save the city, just literally go get captured. Why did he do that? He's like, there's 30 officers. I'm going to go kill 4 of them and then get beaten.
He did kill a good chunk of them, yeah.
But then he gets beaten, but like he had no plan and he's like, just capture me. I hate you. You're all punks. You're clowns. Like all of that entire scene, like they officially ruined John Barenthal's Punisher, as far as I'm concerned.
I would love to know what they did with it, because remember the original version of this, he declined to film because he didn't like the character.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he declined to film it, and because he was like, yeah, this is not the Punisher that I believe would be on the show.
Wow. Well, I don't think they edited it back into, like, he must have filmed whatever he thought it was going to be, and then they edited it into garbage. I liked him kind of in it. Here's the problem, right? Oh, okay. So the very final part is Kingpin's taking over the city, and is there a dinner?
Remember, they're just enjoying dinner.
Oh, yeah. Kingpin's enjoying dinner, and that's all that is. She ended up killing her boyfriend that she had, which is, who cares? He was also very unattractive, which made no sense because...
I paid attention so little, I don't even know what there was even a boyfriend.
Yeah, Kingpin took the boyfriend and was torturing him. And then...
Neat.
And then he said he basically gave her an ultimatum, which was either kill me or kill your boyfriend. It's your choice. And she killed the boyfriend. So then Daredevil is forming an army of not Spider-Man, not Luke Cage, not Iron Fist.
It should have just been
not
the fucking
Punisher.
Defenders.
It should have just been the Defenders. It would have made sense. And apparently Punisher's not getting a show. He's getting a special. Huh?
Yeah, it should. Jessica Jones should have just showed up and been like, "Girl power, bitches," and then credits roll.
Now, okay, here's what I liked: the actors. I hated the script and I hated the plot. I mean, I didn't hate the plot, but it just was not well put together. It just they slopped a bunch of stuff together. Did you notice James Gandolfini's kid?
Yes, he looks very James Gandolfini-ish.
I thought he was great. I liked him.
Yeah, he was a good Gandolfini.
BB was stupid. That BB framing that they kept doing, like the BB show where these people said nothing.
Kind of pointless. Yeah, it was kind of pointless.
Completely pointless. Yes.
Maybe it has a point in the second season.
No, it's not going to. So how ultimately was there anything else that was kind of stupid besides the fact they didn't wear the costume?
No, yeah, I think you covered it.
Oh, and Miss Marvel. They mentioned Miss Marvel. Congratulations.
Where's the yellow costume from She-Hulk? Where is She-Hulk?
Yeah, not that I want to see She-Hulk, but where's She-Hulk? So yeah, all of those things. I ultimately can't recommend the show. I mean, this is bad. This is real bad. I know why Kevin Feige said no, but this is not good. This is what's crazy too. The amount of, from what I understand, the ratings haven't fully come out, but this is the lowest show they've had yet. Like, there's been nothing lower than this, which is crazy because that means it's lower than The Acolyte. Like, The Acolyte might have done better than this. That's what I'm hearing. The 5 filmmakers they took 5 people to put this crap together? Like, what? Justin Benson, Aaron Moorhead, Michael Kustiff, Jeffrey Nachmanoff, and David Boyd had the unusual task of putting together a season following a creative overhaul. It went surprisingly smooth. No, it was surprisingly crap. I mean, that's the big thing, is I'm just mostly disappointed. You know, even Charlie Cox, who I think is great as Daredevil, sucked. Like, what's his character arc in this? Can you tell me?
Be moody.
Get therapy.
Yeah, be moody, whine about your white friend being shot, and then scream a lot while fighting.
And there was nothing about his Catholicism. Like, there was like one part where they kind of mentioned it. Nah, gone. Yeah, and then just killing Foggy off, that is pretty crap. Like, I don't know why even bother having him come back just to kill him in the first episode. Why would you do that?
I really wish they would release, just like Sonic, release the Nightmare Cut. Release the original 6 episodes that were so bad they had to redo it and make this shit. Because if it's worse than this, like, dear Lord.
Jesus. I really did like I really did like the White Tiger guy. I thought that was cool. That episode where he's in prison and he talks about hearing the frogs in Puerto Rico and that whole story. I thought that was great. There was some great writing, but then it was just crap. This is the Hollywood Reporter saying this. Perhaps the ultimate compliment I could pay all of you is I thought I'd be watching Daredevil Born Again with a jeweler's magnifier, looking for the seams and stitches between the two phases of the show. But I became so engrossed in the story that I quickly forgot about the behind-the-scenes retooling. It's just crap. It was just crap. Here's another thing I don't believe at all. The Rotten Tomatoes score 87% by the critics, 81% by the fans. Get out of here. That's not possible. And Vincent D'Onofrio lost a ton of weight, and they kept making him look smaller, and they kept referring to him like, oh, you're a lot smaller, Daredevil, or, Mr. Fisk. It's like, shut up.
Yeah. Maybe that was why they retooled it. They're like, you're too fat. Let's reshoot. Ozempic.
Daredevil Born Again Season 2 gets a surprising release date. We're going to... I don't even know why are they waiting a whole year. They're like, maybe if we release it next year in March of 2026, people will like it. No, they won't. It's just amazing how bad this all was.
They should have just got it over with. Yeah, they clearly had all these episodes filmed, so just fucking release them.
Oh my God. Hold on, though. Do you really want to hear like this news at the end?
Not really. Sure.
They're just like, well, I guess they're saying that are we going to hear about Elodie Young wants to return as Elektra? Mike Coulter wants to come back as Luke Cage. I don't know. It's so weird.
Of course, they want money.
Yes, that is true too. I do remember. What is the exact moment where Daredevil went to garbage, or not Daredevil? When Netflix went to garbage too? Can you remember? I knew what it was.
Or Disney?
No, the Netflix series of this too.
I never watched season 3 to be honest, so I don't know.
Jessica Jones season 2 was an absolute train wreck, an abomination to watch.
Season 1 was great.
Season 1 was amazing, and then
Luke
season
Cage
2
I
was
never
terrible.
watched. Too Black.
I liked Luke Cage; it was very good.
Iron Fist was like kind of.
That's
shitty,
where it went.
But, like,
Iron Fist is where it turned because in Iron Fist they had the 2 girls that were supposed to have a spin-off. That's where they were. That's where the women empowerment started coming from. They're like supposed to be like the Midnight Daughters or something, or the Daughters of the Dragon.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's where it all went wrong. Is they made Danny Rand a giant puss, and they turned. They were trying to make it strong women show with that female cop and the Asian girl who's like was in a lot of stuff, and now I haven't seen her since then.
You can't have a female cop. You can only have Daddy Cop.
Daddy Cop. So, do you recommend it? Yes? No?
No. Fuck no.
All right, then. Well, so let us know what your thoughts are. We thought it was absolutely atrocious, and for all the reasons said above. Kingpin was one of my favorite villains in all of the Marvel stuff with Vincent D'Onofrio. They didn't ruin him, but what a waste. They just wasted him. I think that's what I'm most mad about, is the wasting of an okay story. Like, I'd like him being the mayor. I think that's cool. In fact, one last point I want to make. Is Mayor Fisk not the best mayor in the country? Can we get Mayor Fisk?
I mean, he just does martial law at all times.
No, remember when he was getting the potholes fixed and all the other stuff? He gets out of his car, he's like, fix this pothole right now.
I really did not pay attention to this show whatsoever.
He did all sorts
of...
either.
either.
They have him wasting his time doing a whole bunch of like let's go visit the kids and let's hear people singing and stuff. And he's like, this is a waste of my time. I need to be doing economic reclamation for the peers. Best mayor ever. Let's make it happen again. Make New York City great again. Elect Mayor Fisk.
Fisky man rad.
Fisky man rad. Anyway, let us know what you think in the comments below. Check out our live stream Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join the channel. You get access to perks that you never thought you needed, but you must have for as little as $1. You can do more, but $1 will also help. Get us a cup of
I
coffee.
will buy a very cheap Daredevil costume and send tasteful shirtless pics in it.
Okay, well, there's that too. Anyway, we love all y'all, but we are on to the next one.
Thanks for catching the video. Be sure to join our channel to get the education you deserve. Make sure you check out our shorts, live streams, and catch us on all the socials. Don't forget to like and subscribe.